Good evening, everyone, and hopefully this goes out. It is the end of the... Oh, dear. It is the Berlin E-Prix. If you have been wondering why I'm here interviewing people and there has been no pit walks, technical problems have put us out on both days. On Friday, the render didn't work, and then on Saturday... one of my cables didn't work, and so it meant that the audio was really, really jolty. It kind of cut between this microphone and the phone microphone. I have now used a lot of electrical tape, and it's finally sorted itself out. So, get the seasick tablets. It's time to go for another season of Picko's Pit Walk. Woo! Yeah. And you can play that German music loud, Abt Cupra. What a day from them. Pole position, front row lockout. I'll be honest, I didn't care about the final. Seeing how Thomas Biermeier reacted when both of them got through, that was a highlight. That was a highlight today. Yeah, fantastic day for them. Unfortunately, Freins dropped like a stone from pole position. Finished 17th, I think, which is a shame. It just shows that they've still got a way to go. Nico Müller, 2 points, which means that all 22 of the main drivers have now scored. Obviously, Kelvin van der Linde was 23, but yeah. It means that we get to the end of this weekend and we now have all teams and all drivers score, which is fantastic. So, well done to Abt. The entire media centre cheered for them today, so that was fantastic. Let's move on to DS Penske. It's been an all right day for DS Penske as well. We're starting on really positive notes. Actually, before we do, I will say we have an interview. There is an interview with Robin Freins. I want to thank my colleagues at eFormula D and Motorsport Magazine. For allowing me to shove my microphone in that interview. So we have some content from Robin today. Thank you. DS Penske. Yeah, good day for them. Vern was fourth on the grid, third at the finish line. Stoff van Dorn, I think he finished 8th overall. So weekend. I mean, Stoff was unlucky yesterday to be involved in that incident with Dan Ticktum, but Jev's been there or thereabout this weekend. So yeah, good job from him, and yeah, another podium. And I'd say he's firmly in that shot to in title contention at this point. And me and Ed, we're kind of there or thereabout. I think I said Jev. He's got 81, and Ed said Jake Dennis, who's got 80. So we're all far behind Pascal Wehrlein and Nick Casti. We'll get to that later on. We'll move on to Neo now. And it's a point. It's a point for Dan Ticktum on a weekend where I think they feel that they could have had a bit more. They weren't so great in the wet qualifying earlier as they were yesterday. But yeah, I think for him to come through the field, he also had a 5-place penalty for that accident with Stoffel van Dorn. So yeah, I think it's an all right day. It's an all right day for Neo. Another point doesn't hurt. I mean, like last year, they would have bitten your hand off for a point. This year, we're just not fussed. We'll move on to Nissan, and now in the report. In the Picko's Pit Walk that I did yesterday that no one will ever see, I kind of spent 30 seconds on this team because I didn't really see anything yesterday of Nissan. I'm not sure if anyone else did, but yeah, there really was nothing to see in the end yesterday. But today, they did basically what Oliver Rowland did yesterday. It was 30 laps of doing nothing, then the last 10 laps you absolutely go for it, and it almost worked for Sasha Fenestraz. He finished 11th, 1.6 seconds outside the points. However, very interestingly, 1,000th ahead of Lucas Di Grassi. And so, yeah, well done, Sasha, to get it by 1,000th on the line. Nata, I think, finished 15th at the end of that. So, you know, so just a so-so weekend from them. Yeah. We'll move on to Mahindra. And let me tell you that Jack John Maynor of FEZ Show fame and runs this site has said that these guys are the worst performing team as of late. Ooh. Now, I don't think that. I mean, Ollie got a point yesterday. Lucas was running in the points for quite a lot of this race, so I don't think it is really. The thing is, I think it was partly because they were outshone by their customer outfit at Cupra today in qualifying, and the fact that they haven't shown much in the dry and they haven't shown much in the wet. But I mean, like they both got a pole to their name, and one of the teams put it on the podium once this year. So, yeah. The thing is, we know what Jack's like with wheel knowledge. So, this is my final weekend working for FEZ. It's not. Don't panic. But yeah, we'll move on to Porsche. I'm not sure if they're still the championship leaders. I am assuming they are because they've scored consistently over the course of the race weekend. Pascal Wehrlein now only slimly leads the championship by 4 points over Nick Cassidy. And there's a very interesting interview with Pascal Wehrlein on the channel. He said that the last few races, so Sao Paulo and the two this weekend, it's not real racing. The first 20 laps is a cruise, and then the race starts on lap 25 or something like that. And that's something that I'm getting from most of the people down this paddock, that this isn't the format, the racing that we've seen in Sao Paulo and here has not really been great. We had 23 changes for the lead yesterday and 190 overtakes. We did 170 something overtakes today. But it is a slipstream fest. I'll be honest, I kind of gave up doing the live tweets because it's just a little bit manic, isn't it? That's what I found from most of the people walking up and down the paddock. That's this racing, it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. I called it a slipstream fest while I was talking to Pascal. And yeah, like even Mitch, who's come out of this, got a bug on my finger. I've dealt with it appropriately. I whacked it off. Anyways, let's continue with Andretti, who an alright weekend from Andre Lotterer, who scored points for the first time in a while yesterday, but unfortunately today he had an incident down at turn 1 that meant he went straight on. But Jake Dennis, 85 days he's waited to even see a checkered flag. Not a point, not to score points, just to finish a race. It's been since Diriyah, 85 days, and he's finally done it. So, well done, Jake. You have the patience of a saint. He was actually just out here, just taking for. Oh no, you can see him. See him behind me. There he is in the red. Congratulations, Jake. Good job. The next team kind of did one better, and as you can see just there, Nick P1. Well done, Nick Cassidy. And honestly, I'd almost call it domination. That was insane. I don't know what the bleeping is in the background. It's not the government text message. Someone from Envision is just shouting next door, your alarm's going off. I'd be surprised if they didn't know. It is a bit loud, Jack, so if you can turn it off, that would be fantastic. But yeah, Envision. Let's talk about Envision. Yeah, Nick Cassidy led for the vast majority of that race, and he won the shebang. Well done. That was, and he said in the post-race interview, he was quite reserved in the post-race interview, but yeah, no, it was, it's over. It's over, everyone. Breathe. And hopefully we'll never have to hear it again. So he said in the post-race interview that it was one of the best cars he'd ever driven, thanks to the team, etc., etc. But it was very hard with the energy management because it usually is. And we've seen it with how the strategy's gone this weekend where no one wants to lead. So everyone takes attack mode stupidly early. And it's just a slipstream fest. So I enjoyed it in Sao Paulo, but now I've seen 3 races of it, especially 2 of them at the same circuit 2 days in a row. Yeah. Right. Jaguar's here. Let's talk about Jaguar, because they've had an amazing weekend. This is their bogey track. This is the track where Jaguar never do well. Ed said that they'd maybe had a podium in season 7, but I'm not sure. However, they have absolutely they've wiped the slate clean, is what they've done. A 1-2 yesterday, their best ever Formula E result. Their first 1-2 since sports cars and Tom Walkinshaw racing in the early 90s. That's a stat and a half. And yeah, it was 4th place again for Mitch, and he was quite vocal about the racing as well, as of a lot of people down this pit lane. Sam, unfortunately, today he got a bit of front wing damage, and then he had to pit. And that's the same for Sebastian Buemi, who I didn't mention at Envision. You can see that I don't do this without a script, can't you? Because I just forget. I remember things and I just forget them, and it's because I've got the selfie stick in one hand, the microphone in the other hand. It's hard to do this and adjust my face at the same time, evidently. Mitch, driver of the weekend, but even though he's the one that's adapted to this weird slipstream racing the most, he didn't like it. He really didn't like it. So, yeah, some changes may have to be seen. And they're even saying that Monaco's going to be like this. Monaco. Yeah, Jag, team of the weekend, surely. And they supplied the powertrain, obviously, to Envision, who won today. Who would have thought? I mean, Moron's podcast is absolutely on the money, actually, because we were all saying, oh, Jag's not very good. We'll have a good weekend from DS and Porsche. Sorry, I'm a little bit ill. I've got a sore throat and everything. And then Jag have done that. So, yeah, well done, Jag. Fantastic job. Maserati, we're getting there now. And actually, they needed a weekend like this. Their first podium in single-seater racing in 66 years. And Max Günther on fire this weekend. I didn't get to speak to him yesterday, but I spoke to him today. He obviously got the podium yesterday. He pit Buemi on the line. And today came from 21st to 6th. And was the only one that got up and involved with, as we said, well, I'm dubbing the top 6. So the top 6 are the top 7 who finished in the race and Max Günther. So the top 6, and I mean that in no disrespect to Max Günther. It's just that those 6 have kind of broken away at the front. Your Pascal Wehrleins, your Antonio Felix da Costa, your Nick Cassidy, Dennis, Jev, like that lot. They've kind of broken away at the front now after today. And so, yeah, for Günther to stick it in there, fantastic job. Edo, the luck is coming. I love Edo. He's an absolute joy to interview. He's a lovely bloke. On Friday, I asked him just to vent. Just vent at me. Because it was just such a bad time that they've had this season. And yeah. But they think that they found the momentum. Just really not good today, guys. I do sincerely apologise if it comes over on the camera. I've been sneezing like crazy. Do I have hay fever? I've never had hay fever before. My God, I might. That's a development. Picko's Pitwalk exclusive. Picko may have hay fever. Interesting. More on that in Monaco. But yes, Maserati, good showing this weekend. They think that they found the momentum. James Roster's just there. He is. So yeah, seems all right. They're getting there. They're getting there. And then we come to McLaren, who not getting there. After the fantastic start that they had this season, they've come away from this weekend pointless, which is astounding considering like what that team is. So yeah, for them to come away pointless. Rene Rast is his home race. Obviously, he probably wanted a bit more. Jake Hughes, he got caught up in the Dicton Van Dorn incident today, and we're not sure why, but he fell off completely towards the end of the race. So, yeah, that's that. Unfortunately, thing is, usually they'd be backing all this down and going on to the next race, but they're not, because tomorrow we've got a rookie test. We've seen quite a lot of people in the paddock who are doing the test. So you've got Daniel Kafia, Felipe Drugovich, Robert Schwartzman, Will Stevens, J.Ann Deruvila, Roberto Merri. There's quite a few. Mitch Evans' brother is testing Mitch's car, which is, I mean, I just love that stat. That's fantastic. But yes, I won't be doing anything because I need to head home because I've got work on Tuesday. And yeah, and Berlin Airport's gone on strike, so I'm having to be on a train tomorrow across most of Germany. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. We'll see what happens, and we'll see you in Monaco. Thank you very much for your company this weekend. I'm sorry that this hasn't been as much of a thing as we wanted it to be this weekend, but yeah, it's a technical problem strike. Well, we'll iron them out for Monaco. Thanks for joining us this weekend. We'll see you in Monaco, where Jack Jordmainer will be with us. I'll leave you with that. Goodbye.